Bring up my headphones.
Turn up my headphones.
What?
Turn my headphones up. Turn my headphones up. Is that Dylon?
Dylon.
Fucking Chappelle Show. And like, I guess it'd only be the early 2000s.
Chappelle Show was great.
It's just like 25 years old.
It's fucking old, but it's hilarious. It's hysterical.
All right, we're rolling.
We're rolling on the Not For Everyone podcast.
Speaking of rolling, I just want to get your take on this, Adam.
Yeah.
How do we feel currently? Like, granted, I know you're a big Limp Bizkit fan. You always have been.
Put your hands up.
But all the kids today are revisiting our coming of age musical acts.
Are they?
And pretending like they're fucking Led Zeppelin. They're like, hey, you guys know the band Creed? And I'm like, yeah. They fucking suck.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
But it's like very internet cool to like, I don't even think it's ironic anymore.
I don't know what internet you're looking at. I haven't seen any of that.
I know. Yeah, it's because you're not down with the fucking new shit, dog. Like Creed. You're not down with fucking.
That's what if I was going to choose one to bring back, it would not be fucking Creed.
All right, we were just talking about this downstairs. It's like, okay. When you want to remake a movie, it's best to take a movie with a good premise that was executed poorly,
right,
and try it again rather than an already good movie and just rehash it.
So what you're saying, they should make more Creed or Nickelback songs?
So I mean, like, what? I don't know what I'm asking, to be quite honest with you, but like,
it doesn't really compute with songs.
Sugar Ray, maybe. Sugar Ray had a good idea behind
Stained.
it. I've never liked any of that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you did. You liked, dude. If you liked fucking "Come My Lady" by Crazy Town,
Come My Lady.
You liked "Come My Lady" by Crazy Town, which means you at least dug a couple Stain tracks.
I mean, I remember when they came out, and I was like, "Yeah, okay." And then it was just like after you hear the lyrics, when he's just like whining and moaning about his fucking dad.
Well, that's what they call, I guess, like post-grunge, which is the worst thing. I'm not.
Is that what that was? Post-grunge?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it,
I thought it was just new metal. It was just fucking new metal.
Well, there's some of that. Oh, there's a Venn diagram there and overlaps a little bit.
Okay,
but I don't want to go down this road because that's what I'm here to talk about. But I don't think that grunge aged well. I mean, there's a few gems in there. I like
Bad Motor Fingers. Fucking awesome.
I like some Soundgarden and Nirvana.
Dirt,
obviously.
Alice in Chains.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
You don't like Alice in Chains?
I mean, I don't dislike them. I'm just not going to throw them on. I don't hate my parents and shit or whatever it is. I'm not suicidal.
You don't love heroin and hate yourself enough to listen to Alice in Chains?
That's why I listen to Johnny Thunders.
Okay.
Fair. That makes me cool.
Sure.
But my point is, like, okay, so grunge did it. In my opinion, I don't know how you feel. I don't think it's as timeless as people are really forcing it to be.
I mean, it was a time and it was an era in history, but yeah, it's not like the fucking end all be all. It's
not like when we were kids, we listened to our parents' music. That shit's still fucking awesome.
Like Pink Floyd.
Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. All that kind of shit.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Nirvana holds up, right?
Yeah, I like Nirvana. I always have liked Nirvana.
I like Nirvana. I like
some Mudhoney tracks. I like Tad. Remember Tad?
Tad.
But it's not something that I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, like throw in Tad.
I mean, I don't think they're as good as like
throw in Mother Love Bone. No, I'm not going to do that.
What about Korn?
I'd rather listen to Korn than Mother Love Bone.
Yeah, I could see that.
I know all the rap to fucking Family, All in the Family.
Do you?
Well, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I'm not surprised. I've heard you do it, and it was appalling.
You got to come out to the Not For Everyone conference one day to hear me do that.
You don't want to miss that.
So folks. What I'm getting at here is that so you had grunge, and then you had what they called at the time. I think it was called grunge light or post grunge, which was like Candlebox and like Seven Mary 3.
Okay,
you remember that band?
Yeah, they suck.
No, I mean they were of their time. I would even say some of like like a Collective Soul would be another one.
Ugh.
And then you get into like Stained, Puddle of Mud, Nickelback, Creed. And I blame Eddie Vedder for all of this.
Sure.
Because what I realized is that, this, like, for example, the Stone Temple Pilots are just the instrumentals of Nirvana with the vocals of Eddie Vedder.
Okay.
If you think about it.
Why are we talking about grunge?
Yeah, I don't know. It's cold open. Who cares? It's a wild card time of the show, not for everyone podcast.
Okay. So what have you been listening to?
No,
You listen to a lot of grunge recently?
what I want to get to is like, and now, I guess what we call post-grunge or grunge light is being revered by the up-and-coming kids today as like fucking awesome.
But where?
Like,
Okay, but where's
there's
that
a kid in my
information coming
office
from?
that where it has a Creed shirt. I'm like, why the what?
Wow.
I don't want to hang out with that guy.
Like in his 20s?
Yeah, it's probably like in mid-20s.
A gin, whatever gin they are now. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I don't know why they like Creed. I don't know why anybody would like Creed ever. I remember hearing their first song, and I was like, all right, okay, this is that grunge shit that's popular nowadays. And then I realized it was about Jesus. And I was like, oh, fuck that.
I don't think it is, though.
No,
I think that they were kind of playing that up to appeal to the Christian rock crowd.
Wide open,
I don't think it was about Jesus.
Christ,
And if it was about
balls.
if it was about Jesus, it was very like
Loose.
for marketing purposes.
Sure. They were trying to sell to the Jesus freak.
Yeah,
crew.
the DC Talk Newsboys guys.
Oh, God.
Supertone Strike Back.
So what have you been listening to recently,
He left
Bobby?
to join a Pentecostal ska band.
Since we're talking about all
The
this
Simpsons.
horse shit, bad music, what bad music have you been listening to?
It's really weird you should ask because it like a few years ago, all that I listened to was Danzig for like 2-3 years.
I can see that.
I couldn't think of anything else to listen to.
Sure.
It was a weird time. It was like, I don't know. I'm going to listen to Danzig.
I was listening to Danzig 2 now. Danzig 3.
Danzig 2 is my favorite.
Danzig 2 is fucking great.
Wait, which one has Long Way Back from Hell? Is that Danzig
It's a
2?
long way back.
That's my
from
favorite.
here.
That's
that is
easily my
Danzig
favorite
2,
Danzig
yeah.
album.
It's a fucking great album.
So like that was probably when we first started the podcast. I was
Sure.
only listening to Danzig, which is coming up on like 8 years now.
Wow.
Look at us at
flies.
like just under 200 episodes.
Just under 200 episodes in 8 years. It's almost an episode a week.
Lately,
A month.
it's been
A month.
only Krautrock and Testament. I don't know what that says about me.
Krautrock?
Yeah,
Like the Scorpions?
no. Well, I mean, kind of when you think about it.
That's got to count,
Krautrock
right?
was basically. I want to say it was like. It's a lot of synthy like Kraftwerk would be like the Hank Williams of Krautrock.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and there's a band called Noi that I like a lot. And
Noi.
Homonia. And they're just a lot of it's Can is the real famous one. I like the stuff that's more synthy and instrumental than the like weird kind of freak out man krautrock. I want to say that it evolved behind the wall, like it evolved in communist countries that were only exposed to a limited amount of Western music.
Okay.
Western, modern music. So it kind of evolved in a vacuum, and it's very weird. And it's like, I like it. I like that stuff a lot. And I listen to a lot of Testament now. I don't know.
Testament.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I'm cool with Testament.
Yeah.
I haven't really listened to a lot of krautrock.
No, I'll give you some. You'll dig. You like new wave. You'll dig some.
I love
krautrock.
me some new. So I've been doing the whole you know how you only listen to Danzig for like a year?
Yeah, you've been doing that with Martina McBride.
No, I've been listening to nothing but the Mars Volta for
That's solid.
a couple months now.
Yeah, I like a lot of that desert rock shit too.
I wouldn't say it's desert rock.
It's not. But
It's not desert rock at
It's kind
all.
of derivative of like Caius.
No, not really. It's
The desert sessions.
It's real weird. It's real fucking. You know what I love
You know
about
what
the
it
Mars
is
Volta
it's fucking emo.
is most of their albums are concept albums. They're all fucking weird.
If all your
concept
albums are concept albums, is it really a concept album?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
I guess you could say that about Pink Floyd. All Pink Floyd albums are concept albums.
Yeah, and they're fucking great.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of the Mars Volta, and their first like 4 albums are spectacular. Like the first one, D-Louse and the Comatorium, it's about their buddy who killed himself. So they wrote like a weird fucking rock opera about it. Now this guy, he was a guy that went into a coma.
Isn't
right?
it all like occult and shit? Like
No,
it's all an occult ritual album. That
No,
one?
I'm getting to that. Shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
So the first album is about their buddy who killed himself. Now this buddy, he went through a thing that several people, this has happened to them before. They go into a coma, right? And they get out of the coma and they realize like, whoa, wait a second. The world we live in, there's like some weird God thing. And all it's doing is devouring
The
us.
demiurge, as
It's
the Gnostics would say.
devouring us as we live. And so a lot of people that go through that are like, well, I'm going to kill myself because life is fucking hell, right? So that was one of these guys, this buddy of theirs, and that's why he offed himself, supposedly. And in the second album, one of the guys in the band was like a repo man, and he found this journal about a guy that was searching for his lost family. And so he wrote, they wrote an album about it called Francis the Mute. And the whole thing
fake.
is stories about this guy's story of trying to find his family. So we get to a couple albums later, their fourth album, which is one of my favorites. It's called The Bedlam and Goliath. Now, the story behind this, again, it could all be bullshit, Bobby. You could be right. Could be...
Tommy's about a pinball wizard.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he liked it as a kid. He liked to play
I like
pinball.
that one, too.
He sure played a mean pinball. So, anywhoozle, this last album, which arguably is their best album, The Bedlam and Goliath. It's about this fucking... After they finished their last album, like, one of the guys went to Israel, and he's from the Caribbean, like one of the guitarists, right? And so he just likes buying weird shit. And he bought like this weird Ouija board type thing, okay? It's like some weird Middle Eastern Ouija board. And so they take it back, and they're like on tour and shit and like going about their lives, and they have this Ouija board, and they're like, well, let's fucking play with it, you know? Because that's what you do when you're on tour.
Explodes.
Nothing explodes. It wasn't that kind. It wasn't a Netanyahu Ouija board.
Oh, yeah.
So
good one.
it starts, telling him shit. And it starts telling him a story, right? And
Netanyahu Ouija board.
And it refers to itself as Goliath. And then as they're like doing this thing with it, like they realize it's telling the same story. And the story it's telling them is about three people, like a girl, her mother, and a man. And it's like a weird love triangle that ends in murder, right? And then this Ouija board like starts making demands. And now the guitarist guy is like, yeah, I'm from the Caribbean. We're into that voodoo sangria shit. Like, this is fine. Like, it wants some rum. We'll give it some rum, whatever.
And then pour rum on the Netanyahu Ouija board?
Yeah. And then
I would have thought it would have liked Manischewitz better.
It wanted rum. What do you want from me, Bobby? It had a Caribbean flavor. So then the thing starts saying, like, I need out. I need a vessel. Like, I need you, And they're like, they get freaked out. So they're like, okay, fuck this. They take and also they had like torn up the Ouija board, and like underneath it there was like poetry in there. They translated, and there was like some other weirder, older Ouija board thing underneath the paper on it. I read a whole interview with the guitarist.
Sounds fake, but at the same time, if it ended up being real, I'd be like, yeah, I believe it.
So they took it, and he's like, fuck all this. This is getting too crazy. I'm gonna break the Ouija board. I'm gonna go bury it somewhere, and nobody knows about it. Now, once they do that, shit starts going downhill. The lead singer, like, his feet, like, start breaking because of the shoes he was wearing and has to have, like, surgery. The bass player gets some weird disease that, like, 1 in, like, 1 billion people get. Just out of the blue.
COVID?
No, this is all pre-COVID, Bobby. This was the mid-2000s. And then, like, they're trying to record this album, and the guy who's the producer, like, the engineer just starts losing his mind. He's like, you're doing something bad with this album. I don't know what it is, but it's driving me crazy, and it's going to drive other people crazy. So he tries to take all the masters and, like, get rid of them. Like, he tries to just get rid of it. And he's like a sane guy that just loses his mind after putting this music together.
This is just the plot to In the Mouth of Madness.
Why are you such a hater, Bobby?
I'm not a hater. I'm just skeptical.
I know you are. So
I'm the most open-minded
skeptic
I've ever.
You believe in
met.
Jesus. You're very skeptical.
Yeah.
So anywho, they hire a new engineer, and like he starts seeing fucked up shit. Like they'll be recording it, mastering it, and the tracks are just disappearing from the hard drive, like while they're there, and they're like, what the fuck? And so that guy's like not a religious, mystical. He's like you. He's skeptical, and he goes and reads about
these. Jesus,
and he's like, this is quantum entanglement or some shit. So, anyways,
Tango and Cash,
man. This is Kurt Russell. You got Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone in there. They're gonna fucking duke it out. So finally, they released the album. Once they released the album, they used a lot of the lyrics that the story was telling them, right? And like the poetry they found in this weird Netanyahu Ouija board. And once they released it, all the fucking evil stopped happening to them. However, it was also their last great album. Like after that, it kind of went downhill.
The sale of their soul kind of ran out of juice. I was gonna say, you reminded me, if I had a retarded amount of money, I would hire a band like the Mars Volta.
Mars Volta is great.
I'd say, hey, here's $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
I need you guys, and you can keep the proceeds of whatever album sales you do. And I need you guys to write a concept rock opera about Tango and Cash.
They already did that. It was their third album.
By the Mars Volta.
They already did that.
Did they?
It's called I don't know. It's called.
It's called Tango and Cash
by the Mars Volta. Yeah, that's what it's called.
I guess that's
It's great. You should check it out. So listen, people, listen to Mars Volta. The Bedlam and Goliath is a fantastic album. After that, like the newer stuff, they have new stuff coming out now, and I listen to it. And I'm like, I just want to go listen to like
you're old.
Their old shit. Like,
you're old.
This is like weird, like spacey. It doesn't have all like the weird guitar solos and shit, like the bongo drums.
I was listening to an interview with Kirk Hammett of Metallica recently.
Oh, why?
And I agree with him, but disagree with him simultaneously.
What, fuck Lars?
He was talking about albums like Saint Anger and Lulu, which is the one they did with Lou Reed.
Okay.
And he openly kind of admits, like, yeah, people don't like those records, right?
You know why?
Because they're not good.
That's why, yeah.
But I get where he's coming from. It's like I always liked albums that kind of challenged me, like, and all that means to me is like, oh, so a challenging album. All that means is even if it's not good, you're so familiar with it that you become kind of like it.
Okay.
So I put on Saint Anger the other day with an open mind.
Woof.
I got 30 seconds into it.
That's it?
That's about it.
And that's all you made of it?
I think we're done here, Metallica. I think we're done here.
Dude, I don't want to listen to Load or Reload.
No, yeah, that's
the fucking Black album. I don't want to listen to any of that shit.
That's fine.
That's fine?
Yeah, that's fine. Enough time has passed, and there's been enough shitty Metallica.
No, Bobby, it's bad. It's bad. Load
it's
and Reload
like,
are dog shit.
No. 90s Metallica is kind of like 90s country. Like
it's dog shit.
No. You look at the new country music of today on the radio, and you're like, in the 90s, you're like, this sucks. This is overproduced fucking corporate horse shit. And I'm like, I listen to the people do fucking hip hop tracks while they're line dancing now.
That's what I always say about fucking.
And I'm like, put on some Alan Jackson, motherfuckers. I want to hear Tracy Byrd and Clay Walker and all that shit. That's like classic country now. But at the time, we hated it, right? Because we were too busy listening to Mother Love Bone.
Thrill me. There's gorillas in these woods.
Mortis, what's that?
It's all in the reflexes.
Chicken's good. I like chicken.
I'd buy that for $1.
Die in the wind.
Die in the wind.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
I drink your milkshake.
Carpet Day.
You make me want to be a better man.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
See you at the party, Richter.
Should we get another drink?
I don't need another drink. You're already drunk. No, leave my drink. Leave it. No, do your fine. Take some of my drink. I really don't. Not really. Don't take all my fucking drink. You took more of my. What the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ! You just had a whole glass, and I've had 3 sips of mine. And you take the rest of mine.
I feel like we got to really bring it tonight on the Not For Everyone podcast because
why is that?
I fucked it up. It really is my fault. I'll own up to it.
What'd you did? You lost our last episode?
I lost our last episode.
Totally lost it altogether.
On the 8th, and
starring Charles Shin.
I think it's maybe our 3rd or 4th lost episode of this entire soiree called the Not For Everyone podcast. My name is Snobby Bobby. Right in front of me is Crude Rude Dude.
Rude Dude.
Rude Dude is here in studio. Finally got you over here. What are you doing?
I was over there not long ago, Bobby.
I texted you. I said, hey, man, are we still doing a show? Because, like, we got patreon.com/not for everyone. If you don't want regular extra features, but you like the show enough to help us pay for it, I'll consider you a producer. Let me ask you this, Adam. I don't know if you're a big book guy.
I've read books.
I'm thinking about as a Patreon bonus.
We're going to write a book for people?
No, when you join the Patreon, I want to do like a bi-weekly, or every 2 weeks, whatever that is, every fortnight.
Like the game?
Every fortnight, like the British expression for every 2 weeks.
Okay.
We do like a horror book club or a fucked up book club. The fucked up book club on Not For Everyone podcast.
What are you talking about?
Patreon. Patreon.com/Not For Everyone. Are you going to join the book club party that we're going to start pretty soon? I think it's going to be me and Cameron and maybe Vanessa.
What?
I think that's it. So it sounds like you're not interested in joining.
This is the first I've fucking heard of this shit. The Not For Everyone book club that I just found out about on an episode of Not For Everyone.
I'm pitching it to you right now.
You're not doing a good job. You're drunk.
But I think that you would have a lot to contribute because you could rate, how many tits were in this book, how many pussies were in this book.
Yeah.
So
sounds great.
Yeah, so we need someone there to pussy count.
Sure. As one does.
We need a pussy counter.
Pussy count.
That's another perk of the Patreon. On the Not For Everyone podcast, my name is Snobby Bobby. Right in front of me is the Pork Chop Moon.
The crew dude, Lieutenant of Danger.
Very appropriate that we ate pork chops for dinner before jumping on this call.
Yeah, we had some delicious fajita marinated pork chops for this particular episode.
I like to take traditional white food and make it Mexican.
Because we do in Texas. Makes it Texican.
How would we make a chicken fried steak Mexican or a meatloaf Mexican?
I don't know, but I'm fucking...
On Friday, Ross came over, and he's gluten-free. And he's like, I don't have any gluten-free buns, but I do have some corn tortillas. I'm just going to make corn tortilla quesadillas for buns. So he made a bunch of quesadillas with those street taco-sized corn tortillas.
Right.
And we used that as our buns on our burgers.
Are we still talking about food?
We're always talking about food on the Not For Everyone podcast.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so what we're talking about tonight, we're doing a new thing this summer. We're doing a little exploitation 70s jam fest. After we lost the episode of The Wraith, we figured let's go in a totally different direction, right? Let's get out of the, it's halfway through the year. Let's stop doing audience recommendation. It's about time. It's supposed to be January, and we're doing it in June. So
I think The Wraith was my recommendation.
It's not important. So we're doing 70s hippie exploitation films.
Or like late 60s. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. This year, we're starting it off. We're kicking it off, our dirty hippie summer, with 1973's Electra Glide In Blue.
It's a tune in and drop out summer, man.
Is that what we're calling it?
Tune in and drop out summer.
I like Dirty Hippie Summer better.
Dirty Hippie Summer.
It's Dirty Hippie Summer on NFE.
The topic of hippies is not something we've ever really discussed, so I'm excited about this summer.
I mean, we've done some movies with some bad guy hippies. We did Blue Sunshine. It was very dirty.
That could have been I was thinking we call this time of the year, this theme of the next 2 to 3 episodes, the death of flower power summer. The death of flower power.
I'm liking Dirty Hippie Summer.
Okay, fine. It's got a nice
Dirty Hippie Summer.
But the point is, hippie exploitation.
Hipsploitation.
This isn't the one we're covering tonight called Electra
Glide In Blue.
Electra Glide In Blue is not. I wouldn't call it exploitation.
I mean, it kind of is.
It's a good fucking movie.
It's a good fucking movie for sure.
It's a good movie with Robert Blake, not the poet, Robert Frost.
It's got
Blake,
Royal Dano
from Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Ghoulies 2.
It's got Harv.
It's got a guy that looks like Carol, what's his name, that played Archie Bunker.
Burnett.
It looks like Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
And a really hot, buxom, blonde 70s lady.
She's so hot, too.
Named Jolene, who is in some other stuff. Electra Glide In Blue is the movie we'll be coming tonight. That's a little later, though, so if you've never seen it or that doesn't sound appealing to you, hang out a little longer because we bullshit about a lot of things.
I think you're going to dig it. You should check it out, folks.
We bullshit about a lot of things before we get to the actual movie that we advertise the show to be about.
It's what we do.
I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna take a wager. I always put in the show notes when the actual movie review starts.
Right.
I'm going to say this one's going to start at 57:60. 57:60. So 58. I'm going to say this starts at exactly 58.
Is that what you think?
That's my guess. I don't know if it's true. Check the show notes if you want to skip ahead to the movie review of Electra
Glide In Blue. So it's time to do the only segment we have on the show We used to do the news, but fuck, as the world got crazy.
It's not fun anymore.
It was always fun, Bobby. It was always fun. Why did we stop doing the news?
I mean, I don't know, laziness. It's just, they're nice to it's just nice to have a episode out in the first place. Like, you take what you can get, people. Talking to you, J+.
We used to have Adam's Corner.
No, that's been dead for years.
Yeah, you killed.
All right, fine.
You killed all our segments.
You got an Adam's Corner for me?
No, I don't.
Exactly. All right, let's go to movie recap.
Movie recap. So we watched some movies recently. I watched a lot of the anime, the animation. This might have been, I might have mentioned all this, if I'm being honest, on the lost episode, but I'm going to mention it all again because I just watched the last episode of it today. Bobby, I know you're familiar with the Japanimation cartoon program called Cowboy Bebop.
I am.
You like it, don't you?
Yes.
It's a great fucking show. It's great. Are you just going to look at your phone and be bored while I'm doing my movie recap?
I'm pulling up my movie recaps.
Okay,
dumb
good.
motherfucker. Just tell your stupid Japanese story.
You're a piece of shit, Bobby. So the guy who made Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Space Dandy, which are all great programs, made a new one. It's on the HBO Max right now. It's a show that I didn't even realize it was by that guy until like I put it on and realized, oh shit, this is by that guy. It's a show called Lazerus. It's a 13-episode series. It's about the end of the world. So imagine with me, if you will, Bobby. Act as if you're paying attention. So they make this cure-all, this drug called Hapna, and it's a cure for pain. Gets rid of depression. It gets rid of anxiety. It gets rid of like joint aches and
I had
back
that.
pains.
I've had that before. It's called fucking cocaine.
No, Bobby. So this they make this stuff, right? And it's the whole world goes gaga for it. Well, it turns out the guy who made it's like, hey, by the way, everybody that took that is gonna die within 3 years. Like, this shit was actually poison. Sorry, y'all, you're fucked. So they have to go find this guy. He's like, I've made a cure for it, but you have to come find me. And there's like a whole government conspiracy that's trying to cover this shit up. You know what I mean? Because they don't want the world to know they're all going to fucking die and know that the government's responsible for it, Wuhan flu style. And then there's a gang of like, they get a whole organization of these badasses a la Cowboy Bebop to go out there and like to stop all of these horrible shenanigans that are going on, right? That are taking place. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. It's from the guy who made Cowboy. It's fucking beautiful. All the fights are choreographed by the guy who does the John Wick movies. So the fight scenes are like a whole other level shit.
Is this animated?
Yeah. We went over that.
It's animated, but you're like, hey, the guy from John Wick choreographs the fight scenes.
Yeah. I watched video on like the internets of like people, like they filmed the fight scenes before they animated them.
Yeah, rotoscope over it or something.
I don't know what they did, but it's fucking badass. Anyways, it's a show called Lazerus. It's fucking rad. It's on HBO right now, HBO Max. It's just called Max. They're going back to HBO Max because they can't decide on a name. But yeah, that's the series is completed, 13 episodes. I don't know if they're going to make a second season, but I'd watch it.
Wait, what's it about though? It's about mechas.
You know what?
Is there schoolgirls in it?
You know, just do your movie recap, you drunk piece of shit. I just explained the whole fucking thing, and you need fucking
I'll go back and
goddamn
listen to it later.
Yeah, listen to it later.
Decide if I want to watch that movie. Is it a movie or a show? I can't remember.
What did you watch, Bobby?
I watched a kind of a gem. I'd call it a gem, Adam. It's a gem. It's a lesser-known Steven Spielberg movie.
A lesser-known Spielberg
A
movie.
lesser-known Spielberg. What do you think it could be?
Fucking The Last Crusade.
Why would you call The Last Crusade a lesser-known Spielberg?
Because it's you, Bobby, and it wasn't Temple of Doom.
That's the only Spielberg movie as long as I'm concerned. But this is a lesser-known Spielberg movie from 1982 called E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
I never heard of that one.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I haven't watched that movie since I was about 5.
Really?
And I watched it recently at about 2 a.m. And it's a guy, if you haven't seen it, you probably should. It's a Spielbergian classic.
It's a movie.
It's a movie about a boy that finds an alien. And
It's about Reese's Pieces.
he feeds the alien Reese's Pieces. He lets some frogs go free. He dresses his alien buddy up as a ghost on Halloween, and then he...
You know what I don't like? I don't like the drag queen aspect of that movie with the drag queen alien.
Yeah, I think that's really fucking poisonous to the culture
Mm-hmm.
when they dress up male aliens and have them read books to children in a children's movie.
It's uncalled for.
And then that tranny alien makes a flower grow, a dying flower grow.
How fucking dare he?
And then they find him in a ditch. It's a hate crime. It's a government hate crime.
I mean, that's where those tranny aliens belong.
They lie in the ditch. They're powder white. Hey, don't be careful. Those are all my like valuable comics.
I'm just looking at them, Bobby.
You're shuffling through.
They're in cases.
Yeah, those are all the good ones though.
Uh-huh.
But E.T. is I don't know. Like I'd be curious to know how like a kid today would receive E.T. Because,
You know, I've never showed my kid E.T. if we're being honest.
Yeah, and that's what I figured he had. It's kind of a time and place. As classic and iconic as it is, I don't think it's kind of a time and place movie. Like you had to grow up with it.
I don't know if it like holds up.
Because
Does it
they
hold
tried
up
to
as
do the
good as it did when you were
CGI
12?
thing when they re-released it in the theaters like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Hey, let's throw in fucking blue milk and
They did that with E.T.?
We'll put in some fucking ETs in the council scene and the
They
galactic
didn't. Did they
council
do
scene.
that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there wasn't blue milk, but there was like they CGI'd some more scenes in it with ET. It was so forgettable that no one really cares, unlike Star Wars. But
It doesn't sound like a release many people like tuned in for.
no, and it's not like they stopped. It's not like they said you're not allowed to watch the original version ever again.
Right.
So no one really cares. But yeah, it's good. I can see the appeal, and I really liked it when I was a kid, and I can see why they try to copy it with the superior film, Mac and Me. Mac and Me is not the superior film. That was a satirical comment on popular.
You know, I was just talking to somebody about Steven Spielberg today. I was talking to my neighbor. We were having a Star Wars conversation, and the conversation fell to J.J. Abrams. And how J.J. Abrams is just a wannabe hack fucking Steven Spielberg. He's just like a watered down.
Well, he's like admittedly a fan of Steven Spielberg.
He's a fanboy. He's a fanboy trying to do Steven Spielberg. Super 8. Super 8's like E.T. and Close Encounters.
I mean,
That's exactly what it is.
I mean,
Like,
I
if there
was
had been a
having
giant shark, I'm surprised there wasn't a giant shark.
I was having this conversation about music with a friend the other day. Like, Led Zeppelin just stole a bunch of blues songs. I'm like, yeah, but so did fucking everyone. What do you want from me? That's how art evolves. You just steal what you've heard and make it your own.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I like J.J. Abrams. I like what's it called? I like the Star Trek movie with what's his
that movie was dog shit. That movie
The
was
first
just
one?
like, yes.
the first Star Trek from like 2013 or whatever.
Yeah, 2009 or something. Yeah, it's dog shit.
Yeah,
It was dog shit.
2009.
It
That
was dog
sounds
shit.
that sounds more correct.
It was like he was trying to make Star Wars with Star Trek, and then they let him make a Star Wars, and that fucking sucked too.
Yeah, well, enough time's passed.
But I'm not here to talk about J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it sounded like you were.
I'm here to talk about Bong Joon-hook, or whatever the fuck his name
Is
is.
this an anime you're going to talk about?
No, I'm here to talk about the guy who's an Academy Award winner for the film Parasite. Also made the amazing movie The Host, which is a great kaiju movie, right? Right. Also made Snowpiercer, which is fucking rad as shit. Probably my favorite of his. Bong Joon-ho. He made a new movie with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, love that guy. He's a good Batman.
Called Mickey 17.
I've heard of this.
Mickey 17.
I want to say it's in my queue, but tell me about Mickey.
It's on HBO Max. So it's about the future, and this guy, kind of down on his luck guy, he's in debt to, like, you know, gambling creditors and stuff. So he decides to, like, volunteer to go to outer space and be an expendable, is what he's called. So basically they clone him, and he goes and does all the shit jobs where you're going to die, right? You're going to be the most dangerous. Like, we're going to test out viruses on you. We're going to test out radiation exposure. And then as soon as you die, we just copy another one of you, right? And so he's that guy. That's his fucking life, which just sounds...
Now, let me ask you this. When he's done with his mission, do they put him back where he was in that time and place?
He just wakes up and it's like, okay, I just died, but I don't remember it really.
Yeah. That's like 20. There's like a whole conspiracy theory called 20 and Back, which I don't believe in. I think it's stupid.
You're bringing it up, so it kind of sounds like you do believe in it.
No, I just know about it. It's people that claim that they were like in the secret space program and like mining on Mars and dealing with grays and shit for 20 years, but then they just put their soul back in their body like right at the time that they left for their 20 years of service.
Well, that sounds like some kookadoo shit right there.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, if we're being honest,
20
right?
Back, look it up. It's really
like I'm not gonna
stupid.
I'm not gonna take that into consideration.
No, I'm not either.
So,
But it
anyways,
sounds
this
like
guy,
it's,
it's a funny movie. It's a comedy. It's like a black comedy, right? And it's got Mark Ruffalo,
like Nutty Professor.
Oh, more like Medea. It's got Mark Ruffalo. It's got what's her name?
Tia Tequila?
No, not Tia Tequila. Whatever happened to her? No, it's got the mom from Hereditary. What was her name? Collette. Tony Collette. Tony Collette, right?
Collette.
It's got Tony Collette in it.
Danza.
It's a real good, funny fucking movie, man. It really like nails.
It's a comedy with Tony Collette.
It's a sci-fi comedy with Tony Collette.
Like Galaxy Quest.
It's kind of like Galaxy Quest, but it's just like one dude keeps getting reprinted, and then one of them doesn't die, and so there's two of them. Remember that movie Moon, where there's like the clones and shit? It's kind of like that.
Sam Rockwell's Moon?
Yeah. Except he knows he's a clone the whole time. It's a very interesting film. I would say give Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17 a watch.
Hell yeah. That sounds good.
Streaming now on streaming services everywhere.
This sounds like a good one, Adam. You're fucking hitting it out of the park tonight on movie recap. You know that?
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Well,
what you got?
Well, I watched 1996 film.
Okay.
1996.
Let's play the game.
One of the last Rick Moranis films.
Honey, I blew up my anus.
Close.
Honey, I blew up your anus. Sorry.
That's next on movie recap. Now, I want to say it's either the last or one of the last Rick Moranis films. Who is coming back to play Dark Helmet in the
in Spaceballs?
But it also
quest for more money.
The great Tom Arnold.
Oh, Rick Moranis and Tom Arnold. Is this
the most unsung comedy duo?
Canadian? Is it Canadian Bacon?
No, that's John Candy.
Is it
It's called Big Bully.
It's not Strange Brew.
No, that's Dave. That's from no.
Oh, okay.
This is not as good as Strange Brew.
Okay.
Nor is it as good as
that wasn't from 96.
Honey, I blew up my anus. Whatever you said earlier.
It's a good one.
This is called Big Bully. I never caught it as a child. And I said, I'm going to see if I can find some comfort food in the 1990s films that I've never seen before.
Okay.
And it's about Rick Moranis, who got bullied a lot.
Sure, as you would expect.
As a child. Then he grows up and he ends up moving back to his hometown to be a teacher.
Okay.
And it turns out this guy that works at the school was actually his bully from when he was a kid.
Oh, shit.
And it's played by Tom Arnold.
Do they fight?
And Tom Arnold is like a really nice guy, blah, blah, blah.
He's not a bully anymore.
But it turns out he actually is, but he's only a bully to Rick Moranis.
Oh, he's like, I remember you.
No one believes him.
Right.
And I describe it as, it's almost like Cape Fear, but for children. It's Cape Fear for children. Big bully.
That sounds amazing.
It's a very insane climax at a fucking wet log at a waterfall. Like I got real Cape Fear vibes from Big Bully with Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis and Tom Arnold. That's an interesting.
I don't recommend it, but I recommend Big Bully from 1995.
Okay, well that's I never.
It's about as good as Little Giants, I would say.
Oof, it's not good.
He doesn't like Little Giants.
Me? I mean, that's not good. Anywho, enough of that. Enough of that hornswoggle. So, I'm going to talk about a little duology of films that I watched just recently. Okay,
so you watched two
of them. We're going to count it as one. It was a movie and its sequel. We talked a little bit about this a minute ago. So I had started the first one. I never really finished it. I thought it was okay. I thought the concept was cool, but I was like, it's kind of dumb. And then I rewatched it, the whole thing, and it was like, this is all kinds of fucking amazing. So they made this movie called Smile.
Yeah. Smile.
And it's about like a demonic entity that's like traveling through people by a smile, like making people watch them kill themselves when they see some. If
Mormonism.
Yeah, something like that. It's very, very, golden tablets.
They're very happy, creepy
kind of thing
people.
like that. They smile, they murder themselves in front of themselves, and they pass that smile on to somebody else. So it's just a fun little romp of people offing themselves, and some girl's caught with this curse and is trying to ditch the curse and doesn't want to die. Needless to say, she dies. But you get to see this weird, creepy smile monster. I was like, I know they made a sequel. I never watched the sequel because I never finished the first one. But I went and I watched the sequel too. And it's great, Bobby. This one's about a pop star. And so she gets it, and she's trying not to bug out. And it really has this good thing because the demon thing is making you question what's really happening. It's really controlling all of your senses. So all this shit's happening. You don't know whether it's real or whether it's fake. And that's what's fun about it.
The best sequels are the ones that don't just try to rehash up the ante of the first one. It's the same premise, but with a totally different thing going on. The first one has nothing to do with a pop star, right?
Nothing to do with pop stars.
They're let's throw a pop star into this creepy, weird premise. I respect that is all I'm trying to say.
And spoiler alert, they're making a third one, and they've set up for the third one. And the way they set up I'm really excited to see, same director, same writer, right? Same guy who made the first one. Because the second one starts off and when I finished the first one, I'm well, the second one better start off right fucking there. It better be that guy in the next movie. In the first scene in the next movie is that guy from the first one. I was
Rocky,
yes.
Like a Rocky movie.
Yeah, with suicide.
It ends with
demonic
Apollo Creed with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, and killing himself in front of Rocky, and then Rocky's got to kill himself in front of somebody else and pass the demon on. But the second one starts right where the first one ended, and it ends with holy shit. Where they go with the third one, I'm really excited to see. So if you haven't seen the Smile movies, watch them. They're graphically violent. They're gory as fuck.
I liked the first one enough. I wasn't I wasn't in love with it enough to rush out to see the sequel. But now that after your little endorsement there,
I'd say give it a watch.
I think I'm going to give it a whirl.
If you watched the first one and enjoyed it and didn't watch the second one, go watch the second one because the second one really it makes more. There were parts. What bothers? Okay, it doesn't bother me, but the things that get to me in movies is awkward moments. You know what I mean? Sometimes you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, you're oh, fuck, I'm just cringing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes in this movie where, I am just uncomfortable for the character. I'm ooh.
In a comedic way?
No, not in this. This wasn't comedic. In a horror way. She's going to go on stage in front of all these people, and some fucked up shit's going to happen because there's a demon possessed in her mind. Something fucked up's going to happen. And then it does, and you're just oh, it's hard to watch. It's good. Very, very enjoyable. Smile and Smile 2. Catch him now streaming online, folks.
Excellent choice. Well, I just want to take this opportunity on Movie Recap to recommend a book I've been reading the last 48 hours, and I'm almost done with.
This isn't a movie recap, then.
That's fine. I know.
Bookie recap.
Maybe we could talk about it on the Not For Everyone book club on the Patreon one day.
Sure. I'll read a book.
I got it.
You got a what? Are you pulling a gun on me, Bobby?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you pulling a gun, bro? Is there one in the chamber? Don't fuck around like that.
There's nothing in the chamber.
Let me see your gun.
There's nothing.
God bless America. So I can just dry fire this bitch?
Yeah, I'd prefer you not.
Oh, this is
just good. It's just good etiquette not to.
Yeah, so I shouldn't point it at my head and just pull the trigger.
But
do you have this in your pocket?
No, it's on a magnet under my desk in case a fucking criminal busts into my house while I'm in my studio.
No criminals are coming into your house other than me.
Yeah, so I got it. This book I kind of randomly threw on as an audiobook and started listening Friday, and I'm almost done with it today, Sunday.
Yeah.
Called Depraved. And it's a entire series, apparently. I think there's 4 of them. And I'll just say this. The title certainly does it justice. I mean, it's a very... If I had to suggest a director of this film or of this book turning into a film, it would only be done by Rob Zombie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And even Rob Zombie films are pretty tame compared to this, because a lot of stuff that you probably just couldn't get past. You just couldn't show this shit in movies, wide release movies. You wouldn't have the investors for it.
Interesting.
But it's basically I want to say 4 or 5 different people that end up in this backwoods Tennessee town full of cannibalistic, incestuous zombie redneck type stuff.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
But it's not, I mean, yes, it is inspired by things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills Have Eyes and things
The
of
Good
that
Son.
nature. The Good Son, Bridges of Madison County.
Oh, yeah.
But it's takes that to the next level, and it kind of almost teeters on like erotic snuff horror. Like it's very,
It got your dick hard.
it's very sexual and depraved, like Depraved. Like that's the name of it. But it's like every chapter is something like dirty and sexual, but it's like these filthy fucking mutants from Tennessee.
Filthy fucking
So it's kind of like
mutants.
it's kind of like if you want to like not go, you don't necessarily want to go to Dollywood, but you want to like read about it. You read the
on
book,
my ball.
Depraved by, I want to say Bryan Smith is the guy's name, and I'm definitely going to read the sequel. But I mean, there's things I want to describe to you right now because I think it would get your dick hard.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Come on.
But I also don't want to spoil
no,
it.
for the audience. You don't give a fuck
There's
about
one
spoilers.
chapter in particular where one of the captives is forced to basically be the sexual feast of a bunch of deformed zombie types.
What's a sexual feast involved?
You'd
Bobby?
have to read it to find out. And
No,
then,
explain to me a sexual feast. They're going to eat her out, like physically, like for reals?
No, like it's just like he just gets thrown to these mutants for these mutants to have their way with him.
Oh, it's a he too.
But then the like finale of this chapter is basically like he walks into a room and it's like this woman was just a monstrous white trash woman that's like the size of the room. It makes me think of like
nothing can stop the blob.
It makes me think of Sliver. Remember the big
meat
blob monster from Slither?
Yeah, I love that movie.
But the way they describe it is very upsetting. And more or less, this woman, if you want to call her that, this overweight, obese woman, uses his entire body as
a dildo,
as a sexual pleasure.
There's whole porno about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
This is all new to me.
Yeah.
This is all new to me.
You never seen that? You're looking the wrong Reddits.
No, I'm like,
There's giantess porn.
I keep it pretty vanilla, Adam.
I could see a Rob Zombie movie made where a woman uses a man as a dildo, full grown man as a dildo. She must have had like just a big, wide, gaping.
But if that sounds
don't
like,
point your fucking gun at me, Bobby.
if that sounds like your cup of tea, like I'm not going to dissuade you, but I'm like, it's definitely not for everyone. It's called Depraved. There's a whole series of it.
Don't cock that shit, motherfucker. So I'll say one thing. This is kind of an aside. Alex Garland. You can say a lot about him. Some people love him. Some people don't love him so much. I really loved Ex Machina. I really thought Annihilation was great.
I love both of those.
Men was okay. Civil War kind of pissed me off.
That sounds stupid.
But he wrote fucking Sunshine. He wrote.
I love The Beach. The book, The Beach.
Yeah, right.
It's one of the best books I've ever read.
So his next movie coming up is a adaptation of my favorite video game over the last decade, which is Elden Ring.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cubert.
They're making an Elden Ring video game, and Alex Garland's at the helm. And I was kind of like, is he going to fuck it up? And I saw something, they're like, well, look at the visuals in Annihilation.
I'd rather Alex Garland direct Elden Ring than like they're like we got the Minions guys.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. So also like I saw an interview with them where they're like, well, I went to ask a question about Elden Ring. He's like, no, I can't tell you anything. And they're like, well, who do you think is the hardest boss to beat? And it turns out Alex Garland has played through Elden Ring 7 times.
I would hope so.
So I'm like, okay, I am very excited about this now. Like
He's experienced what the audience has experienced.
Which is a hard-ass fucking game. My kid is now playing Elden Ring, which is amazing and also frustrating because I'm like, yo, do this. And he gets all pissed off. And I'm like, fine. And then I'll take the control and be playing. He's like, Dad, do this. I'm like, shut up, man. Like,
yeah.
You get mad at me when I do that.
I only have a Switch. Is it on the Switch yet?
No, but it will be soon. Or it's coming on Switch 2. I don't know.
I don't have a Switch 2.
Well, it's out. Make some fucking money.
I'll try.
So that was movie recap.
It's not about the money. It's about the time, you know? I've been playing Zombie Army Trilogy.
I don't know what that is.
Did you ever play the sniper games, like Sniper Elite?
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, when you're just like sniping?
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. It's great. It's great. I'm a big fan of the Sniper Elite series. And
Those are fun.
They did a spinoff called Zombie Army, and there's 4 of them now. The first one you can get is the first 3. And it's the same mechanics and engine as the sniper games, but it's just you're shooting Nazi zombies.
You know, everybody loves to shoot a Nazi zombie.
Yeah, and it's very different. It's obviously less stealthy than the sniper games because sniper games are all about just like hiding in the bushes and
fucking
shooting
shit
people from a distance. This is
up.
like you're getting attacked by zombie Nazis and you gotta kill them.
You gotta kill them zombie Nazis.
Quite challenging. There was one particular section last weekend that I was stuck on for literally 18 hours.
Wow.
And it was like a section that should have taken maybe 10 minutes, but I couldn't get past it. But I finally did, and I'm almost done with it. And been playing a lot of video games, reading a lot of, listening to a lot of audiobooks.
Huh.
Not a lot of movies. I watched Flesh and Blood with Rutger Hauer.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I think I talked about it on the last movie recap, though. That got lost because I'm an idiot.
Lost forever in the ether.
So check out Flesh and Blood, Paul Verhoeven's.
Thanks, Bobby, for
Paul Verhoeven's
it
fantasy
for us.
medieval classic, Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood.
With Brian James,
Flesh and
Jennifer
Blood.
Jason Leigh, and Paul Verhoeven.
We're going to take a little break and we'll be back
What's
with
his
more
name?
Not For Everyone podcast.
Rutger Hauer's. All right, so this time we're doing, what is it? What's the
Dirty Hippie Summer.
Dirty Hippie Summer in
It's
2025.
a dirty hippie summer.
It's a dirty
Ugh.
hippie summer. And this one was your choice. You
Yep.
threw it out there.
I threw it out
I'd
here.
never seen it before. I don't know if I'd even heard of it.
I'd like to thank our longtime listener, Patreon subscriber,
your brother dad.
my brother daddy, Bill Skinner, for recommending 1973's Electra Glide in Blue.
All I said, you said, what are we doing next? I'm like, I don't care. You can choose. I just don't want to do anything from the 90s and preferably something from the 70s.
Yep.
And you're like, I got you, dog.
I actually picked another movie first, and then I watched that movie, and it was fucking terrible.
Children shouldn't play with dead things.
It's fucking terrible.
I don't.
It's so bad. We're not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about is 1973's Electra Glide in Blue.
Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, I love a cop movie. I love a 70s cop movie. And I love a 70s cop movie when there's a hippie element to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, you got all that in this one.
You certainly do.
This is a character study about the great Arizona State Trooper of the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Go ahead and read the IMDb for me, Adam.
A motorcycle cop with a Harley Davidson ties hippies to a murder in the Arizona desert.
Electra Glide in Blue. The story of Big John Wintergreen, a 5'4" motorcycle cop in a 6'2" world.
Attention! Yes, Rod. Yes.
Did you know that me and Alan Ladd were exactly the same height?
Parade. Rest.
Ew. John Wintergreen, you ain't no Superman.
Good morning, pigs.
I hate that motorcycle they make me ride.
Good morning, you fascist.
Are you holding anything you shouldn't be?
No way, man. I'm totally cool, man.
You honkies.
You see, you've been back only 6 weeks, and I'm gonna do for you what it took somebody 6 months to do for me.
Yes, sir. What's that?
Nothing.
I'm going to talk to you this morning about self-control and law enforcement.
This country is undergoing a precisely formulated conspiracy of police genocide.
Did you know that loneliness would kill you deader than a .357 Magnum?
The story of Big John Wintergreen, a 5'4" motorcycle cop in a 6'2" world. Electra Glide.
1973's Electra Glide in Blue, also known as
What's
Electra.
I don't think it's known as Electra anywhere.
Yeah, it is. The title card on the vision I watched, it was called Electra
What? Where'd you watch it?
on Amazon.
I watched it on Tubi. It's just called Electra Glide in Blue.
Electra Glide in Blue. Now, the Electra Glide was a Harley Davidson motorcycle.
It wouldn't make sense just to call it Electra.
I don't think Electra Glide in Blue is a good title from a marketing standpoint.
I think Electra Glide in Blue is a great fucking name. I don't know
I
what
think
the
it's
fuck.
a cool name. I think it's like a cool name of like a band that you were cool because you listened to Electra Glide in Blue, but it's not memorable.
It
I have
is
to think of it
memorable.
like, wait, what is this movie called again? Electra Glide in Blue.
Yeah, it's very memorable. It sounds like a song from Chicago.
Fun fact, the director of this film was James William Garrico.
Garrico. And this is the only movie he ever made.
Gauricio.
This is the only film he ever made.
He's a hell of a director. There's a lot of, I mean, this is a legit, like, it's not, I'm going to say, it's not for everyone, but it's also like not, it's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie at all.
I believe it was nominated for a Golden Globe.
Really?
Yeah. It's just a very early 1970s post-Flower Power fucking cops versus, not even cops versus hippies. It was just like
it's a character study.
It's a character study of Robert Blake's character who played Wintergreen, Officer Wintergreen.
Big John Wintergreen.
Big John Wintergreen.
It's funny. He goes by Big John because he's really short.
Yeah,
he makes a lot of jokes about his own shortness.
He has a bit of a Napoleon syndrome.
I would say so.
He thinks he's I don't know if he thinks he's overqualified to be just like a normal state trooper, but he definitely has ambitions to be a detective, like a real detective.
He has dreams and aspirations beyond just riding a motorcycle as a cop.
He doesn't even like the motorcycle.
He didn't like it.
He has no interest in riding that
He's tired of it. That sweet ass Electra Glide in blue. He didn't want to ride it.
Yeah. He's not interested in that. He became a cop because he saw too many fucking movies. He wanted to solve fucking riddles.
He wanted to solve crimes. He wanted to solve
crimes. He didn't want to write tickets
mysteries.
to hippies.
Yeah. He wanted to be a homicide detective.
Now, I'm going to get this out now because I think it's worth getting out early on and we can kind of explore this and see where we come to it. But I'm very conflicted by this film.
Okay.
Because I can't decide what I hate more, cops
or hippies.
You
know, I hate them both pretty equally, but I love this movie.
Yeah, and I think after watching the movie, and spoiler to the end, by the way, I don't want to, do not talk about.
This is what we do.
Do not talk about the end.
The ending is so beautiful. We have to talk about the ending.
Well, we'll give you a warning before we talk about the end. But my point is, I'm pro cop by the end of this movie.
Yeah. I'm definitely pro more cop than hippie.
But
the hippie, I mean, the majority of this characters are the cops. I mean, that's the main. That's who you're seeing are the cops in this.
Right,
movie.
but as much as I have my very strong criticism of cops, I'm like, yeah, go bash that hippie's fucking stupid beaten head in. I don't give a fuck.
Bash his stupid fucking skull.
Yeah. If we're gonna dabble in fascism, direct it towards hippies.
If they had an alternate title for this movie, it should be like Big John's Bad Day.
Big John's Bad Day. I think it goes over more than a day. I like the names of his partners. Zipper. Billy Greenbush.
Billy Greenbush plays Zipper.
I was telling my wife, I said it's not Billy Greenbush. It's like Billy Ray Cyrus. It's like Billy Greenbush. It's like there's like a comma in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if he had much of a career other than this.
Oh yeah, Billy Greenbush is everywhere.
He looks familiar. It also had Mitchell Ryan.
He was in Critters and 5 Easy Pieces. I mean, what else do you want from me? Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay.
He's known. He played.
He was in The Hitcher.
He was in The Hitcher as a state trooper.
Okay.
And I would be willing to bet that guy, whoever, they were like, hey, that guy would be a good state trooper because he was in Electra Glide In Blue.
Well, I'll say this. I was reading up a little bit about this movie, and there's a lot of interesting factoids about this movie I want to talk about, but one of them is what Robert Blake is mainly known for is the TV show Beretta, where he was a cop. And this movie is what got him cast as Beretta.
Well, I mean, Robert Blake's been an actor pretty much his whole life.
He was a part of our gang.
He was part of our gang as a kid. He was in a lot of throwaway Westerns. He was in David Lynch's Lost Highway.
Dude, that's what I always remember him from.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's like saying I only remember Christopher Walken from Batman Returns,
Right.
That's our generation, That's our first exposure there to Robert Blake was Lost Highway. But he's would you consider him a character? How tall is he really, though, is my question. Because he's played as a very short guy in this.
He is a very short guy in this. I mean, it's hard not to...
I mean, that's his character, but is he really short?
He's 5'4".
Yeah, it's pretty short.
He's 5'4".
It's like Joe Pesci short.
Well, here's the thing about Robert Blake. There's a whole murder conspiracy type thing with him.
In real life?
Yeah. You didn't know about this?
Nope.
So, Maudie Lee Bakley is his wife, was shot and killed in his car in 2001. And he was charged with murder, but he was acquitted of the murder. But as it turns out, like, people fucking thought that he killed his wife. which is just fucking crazy. Because I mean, I guess he was 5'4". Like I can imagine him.
A 5'4" guy is usually the guy that kills his wife.
Yeah. So he takes his wife out for dinner, and then she's shot in the head while sitting in his car, which is parked on the side of the street. And he says that he went to the restaurant to get a pistol, which he had left inside, and then came back out and his wife was shot. I mean, the irony of it is pretty hardcore there, you know?
Yeah.
But he was acquitted of it. It kind of killed his career. This was after Lost Highway. And if you see how creepy he looked in Lost Highway, he looked creepier than that in his mugshot.
He was also in 1940s Alfalfa's Double. Alfalfa's Double. Let me just read the quick blurb on this on IMDb. It's an R-gang film, like the Little Rascals. Alfalfa meets rich boy Cornelius, who surprisingly looks like Alfalfa, and so they decide to switch places.
Okay.
Got a little bit of a Hitchcock thing going on there.
Yeah, I mean, Hitchcock was big back then, so, you know.
1940. It's one of the great Little Rascal films starring Robert Blake, Alfalfa's Double from 1940.
So enough about Robert Blake. Let's talk about the director. The director, whatever Garrico, Jimmy Garrico or whatever, he made no other films, but he produced 11 albums for the band Chicago.
And he was like their manager, I think.
He was their manager. He was their producer. He did everything for Chicago, so much so that half the dirty hippies in this movie are played by the band members of Chicago.
And now, is the musical montage in like the beginning of the third act, is that Chicago?
It's not. It's some other band.
Oh.
But all of the music throughout the film, the soundtrack music, is performed by Chicago.
I've never been a fan of Chicago.
There's some great fucking jams, bro.
Do they? It teeters on like just 70s dad rock meets yacht rock. That's what Chicago is.
You love yacht rock. What are you talking about?
No, I don't. My wife does. I just have to put up with it.
That's bullshit.
I like some fucking Doobie Brothers.
You love Chicago.
Oh, man, the Doobie Brothers broke up.
They got Saturday in the Park.
Yeah, that's a big one.
They got 25 or 6 to 4.
25, now 6 to 4. Yeah, Chicago's fucking awesome.
Chicago's fucking awesome. Like
I remember in
Chicago's fucking awesome.
My parents are big Chicago fans. And I remember in high school when I was like, I was really just strictly punk rock at that time. My parents like, we got.
Well, you listen to a lot of Blink-182?
No, yeah, but no, other real shit too. But my parents were like, we got an extra ticket to Chicago if you want to go. I was like, I'm gonna see Chicago. I'm gonna jack off to Ramones albums in my room. Yeah, and now in hindsight, I'm like, I wish I would have gone to see Chicago that night.
No shit. I mean, you could have jerked off after you got back.
I mean, I don't know how they receive Liberty Spikes at Chicago shows, but I think
you had Liberty Spikes.
No.
You fucking dork.
Okay. Well, Chicago is a big part of this movie.
It is.
In the shadow of this movie.
It is beshadowed by Chicago.
And it's interesting because Chicago does kind of represent the end of the 60s and into the 70s, right? And that's this movie kind of does that too. Yeah. It's like what was the big hippie festival where they hired the Hells Angels to do security?
Woodstock.
No. It was not Woodstock.
Coachella.
It's not Monterey Pop. I can't remember the name of it. But it basically they consider it like the day the hippie died because it turned into a fucking like murderous riot bloodbath because the Hells Angels were hired to do security for it. It was a great lineup. Can't think of the name of that festival off the top of my head. Been drinking Coors Lights all night, Adam.
At least you're not pounding White Claws, Bobby. So was Chicago at that festival?
Maybe. I doubt it.
It could.
I doubt it. But yeah, it was around that time. It was probably I want to say like 68, 69. And they're like, all right, I think this shit's done now. But it was around that time when Hollywood got a hold of hippie culture and there was enough time to go by. Like, well, we got to fucking tap into this before it's completely dead. And they did it. And that's what Dirty Hippie Summer is about.
Yeah. I like the vilification of hippies. Hollywood's vilification of hippies.
Co-opting / possibly vilifying hippie culture. Mm-hmm. One of the only things Hollywood's done right.
They still promote the blue. The Electra Glide.
Yeah, I'm pro cop. As far as this movie goes, I'm pro cop.
I'm waiting for you to ask me a question about it.
Adam, what is 1972's? 1973's Electra Glide In Blue about?
This is about this old shack in the middle of the Arizona desert, and there's a man cooking pork chops. Now, while he's cooking pork chops, he's setting up what appears to be a shotgun, tying it to his toe like he's going to shoot himself, which he does in the chest bada bing, bada blood splatter, he continues to cook his pork chops.
Now what that tells me, and as I was watching this, I said, I could be so lucky,
right,
as to kill myself while making pork chops. But something struck me kind of queer about that. Is like, well, if you're considering the pan-seared pork chops as your last meal before you kill yourself, you'd think you'd want to
eat them before you pull the trigger.
Before you pull the trigger.
Yeah,
Maybe he was that depressed. I don't know how you could get that depressed.
He's a sad
at least
man.
fucking down these pork chops.
I'm just gonna go out with the smell in the air.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Nothing beats the smell of a pork.
But that tells me that maybe this wasn't, in fact, a suicide.
It might be foul play.
Might be foul.
Next, we go to interior of somebody's house, and there's a woman moaning, talking about, John, you animal, you keep fucking me all morning, without using those words.
You put a lot more stuff together if you watch this more than once, by the way.
Oh, I picked up a lot of this stuff the second time around.
It's one of those movies that, like, a lot of the kind of ambiguous early scenes make sense. You don't necessarily put it together on the first watch.
Until you watch it again, you're like, yeah, that all makes fucking perfect sense. So we get introduced to our protagonist, Big John Wintergreen.
John Wintergreen,
who is 5'4".
He's got a bit of a little John from Robin Hood.
Little John complex is in reverse. He's a state trooper, a bike cop, and he's just banging the hell out of this hot ass 70s woman named Jolene. Goddamn, Jolene was fly in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Played by the lovely but deadly Janine Riley.
Now,
I never seen her anything else.
I looked her up because I wanted to, see what else she was in.
To beat off to watching it. She was in a bunch of stuff in the 60s and 70s, but I never saw it.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where like, hey, Dad, do you remember Janine Riley? You'd be like, oh, yeah. I beat off to her while you were in your mama's tummy.
She's a real babe. So then we get to meet, John Wintergreen at work, and it shows all the cops, shows a montage of him like working out. He's in a lineup with all the other police officers. The first thing it shows him talking to his boss saying, hey, I put in for the transfer to homicide. What's up with my transfer? And he's like, get in line, Big John.
Big John.
And then the cop's like, hey, you fags. Hey, you fascists. Hey, you hunk. He's just calling them all sorts of horrible names. Mm-hmm. He's like, this is what they're going to be calling you out there.
Yeah, he was conditioning his crew to be ready to just deal with a bunch of filthy fucking hippies.
Yes, yeah, and all the bullshit they're going to say.
Yelling horse shit at the boys in blue.
And there's a great scene where the camera pans across. It's showing all the state troopers and their faces, all the motorcycle cops. It's just going from left to right. And it gets to one, and all you can see is the top of the helmet. And they zoom down.
Beautiful visual exposition.
Zoom down, and there's little Big John Wintergreen.
I mean, that tells you right there what we're dealing with in this movie.
I don't hate the guy. Never in this movie do I hate him. Do I think that guy's a dick? I mean, he's kind of a dick, but not that bad of a dick.
That's what a good character said he is, right? If you watch Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal, the guy's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
But you don't even realize it till after the movie you step back and think about what you just saw.
You're like, that guy is fucked up.
Be like, no, he's just a dude. Like, yeah, I totally get it. No, but Robert Blake is Big John Wintergreen in this, Officer Wintergreen in this. He's a short guy. He wants to be a homicide detective. I think there's probably a bit of like power tripping going on here at the beginning of the movie. He's not cutting anyone any slack.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting any respect either, by the way.
Right.
Like, which, I mean, like even when they find the, quote, suicided guy in the shack, the coroner is talking, who's played by Roel Dano.
You're hopping ahead.
Okay, sorry.
So we go over some of Big John's daily interactions. He first pulls over like a convertible with a hot chick and a guy, also an army dress guy in there. And the guy's like, I'm an LAPD detective. And Big John's like, yeah, that's great. I'm going to write you a ticket. And the guy gets all mad and is like screaming at him. He's like, well, sorry.
When we watched it last night, I turned to my wife. I said, he just certified that ticket. Like,
yeah.
Yelling that shit at a cop is not going to get you out of
Even if you're a cop, you're not going to get you out of a ticket.
There's too much pride on the line. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're an LA detective. You're in Arizona, bitch.
Right.
Like, what are you going to do? Call up
fucking Kojak?
Call up Kojak to come
fucking Columbo?
rough me up?
Yeah. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck.
So then he pulls over a trucker,
bitch.
And he's like, you got to go back and go this other way. And I'm
He's
writing
like, no,
you a ticket.
I was in Nam. There's a lot of like, hey, I was in Nam shit in this movie.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I was in Nam too.
Which is a big part of Dirty Hippie Summer, too.
Yeah, because a lot of dirty hippies came back and became hippies. Some became truck drivers.
Some of them
became cops.
did not go to Nam because they were hippies.
That's because they were draft dodgers like our president.
Yeah.
So then he pulls over this other guy and he's like
all of our presidents.
And this guy's like, yeah, well, you could cut me a break and this and that. He's like, I'm going to do for you what nobody did for me when I got back from the war. It took 6 months for somebody to do this for me. And he's like, what's that? He's like, nothing.
Not give a fuck.
Yeah. He's like, so you write me a ticket? He's like, yep. He's like, you make me go back? And he's like, yep. And like, he's just, I wouldn't even say he is kind of a dick, but he's not cutting him slack because fuck them. They're breaking the law, you know?
No, see, this is where you and I differ, I think. I get what you're saying for sure. And, it's these scenes are very necessary to communicate what kind of character this guy is.
Well, here's the thing, though. When we get
they got quotas.
Well, it's not even that. The detective was speeding.
He thinks he's overqualified.
Wait. Before you go all that, let me make my next point. The first guy he pulled over was speeding, 30 miles over the speed limit. The next guy was on a 5-axle vehicle on a road it shouldn't be on, not even allowed to be there, ticket worthy. The third guy they pull over, him and his pal Zipper, we get to introduce to Zipper, who's his like goofy, kind of annoying partner who sits there and reads comic books to him and shit, right?
Yeah, he's always jerking off to like Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It's funny.
Like, gosh, he's got some good curves.
It's great. But they pull over
and
some
this
hippies.
isn't even like hot 90s comics. This is like early 70s Wonder Woman.
It's like Wonder Woman and Plastic Man and shit. So they pull over a hippie in this, it's one of the guys from Chicago, in this van, like a VW van, like boat painted with a landscape on it and stuff. And fucking Big John's ready to let the guy go. Big John is ready to let him go. And Zipper makes him pull everything out. And he's like, dude, we're wasting our time. Check the hubcaps. And then Zipper planted weed on the guy to get him in trouble. So that just shows that Big John is not a dick. Like, he is the righteous arm of the law.
Big John is trying to do righteous. He's trying to not be a corrupt cop, but also do by the book good job, right?
Proper police procedure.
Yeah, like he's like, but the people he's surrounded with in his precinct or whatever are like your typical jerk off, fucking asshole, corrupt cops.
Right.
As much as he's a dick to these hippies, which granted, hippies deserve it.
He wasn't even a dick to the hippies. Big John was not a dick to the hippies.
He's just following orders.
He's just
like
doing
the
his
Nazis.
job.
He's
No.
You're
gonna go all ACAB on
just
I thought you were on the blue line on this one, Bobby.
I'm conflicted, but if it comes to hippies and enforcing the law on hippies, I'm kind of sympathizing.
I'm just saying this. He was willing to give the hippie a break because the hippie wasn't breaking the law, and they were busting his balls, right?
Well,
the guy
Zipper was.
Zipper was busting his balls. The guy that was speeding that pulled over deserved the ticket. The truck driver, even with his fucking sob story, deserved the ticket, right? Mm-hmm. The hippie didn't. So he's like, just let the guy go, and that just shows to me that Big John is not one of those asshole, abusive, power-tripping cops.
But it's a complex character, but at the same time, again, he's by the books, and he thinks he's better than the position he's been given.
He does. Next scene, we have them.
Very complicated.
Him and Zipper playing pool, and they're talking about their dream, and Zipper's dream is this badass, decked out, pimped out fucking motorcycle.
Zipper's like, we got the life, man. We're desert rat cops. Living in trailer parks,
he's
picking up a check.
Right. He's like, I'm sitting here and I'm reading my comic book.
It don't get any better than this.
He's reading his comic book, and Big John's like, let's go find some action. And Zipper's like, I'm not leaving the shade, man. I'm going to sit here and read my comic book under the shade.
I sympathize with Zipper to a degree.
Yeah, absolutely, And so, but they're talking, and like, Big John's dream is to be a detective. He wants the Stetson hat. He wants the fancy fucking jacket. He wants the boots. He wants to smoke the cigar, right? Mm-hmm. Next day, they're out on their route. And they run across this crazy man, Willie. They already know Crazy Willie, right? Crazy Willie's just a local crazy guy. But he's crying about a dead man. So they go back to the shack where the pork chops were prepared.
Mm-hmm. From the beginning of the movie.
Yep. And there we find the body of Frank. Now, right off the bat, Big John sees this as his big chance. And he goes really fucking overzealous with it. He's like, we got to do an autopsy. Like, let's check the bread because buckshot went into the bread. We can see what time that was.
It's that classic, like, if the feds were to show up, you'd be like, nah, this is my fucking case.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right. And he's like, no, I was the one who got the call. Or like, I got the call. all he looked at was this was his opportunity.
Yeah.
This was his fucking opportunity.
He wants to prove that he's better than just being some beat road cop.
Right. And so then we meet Royal Dano, the coroner, and you can explain
fucking
that
Royal
scene.
Dano is a goddamn treasure.
Yeah, he is.
He is the greatest character actor of all time, I think.
You're drunk, but
and
I'll
we know
agree.
him. We know him from being the crazy old man in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and also the crazy old man in Ghoulies 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
believe he was the crazy old man in Spaced Invaders as well.
Yep.
But
he was also in the Outlaw Josie Wales.
That motherfucker can act, and this movie shows Royal Dano's chops.
Mm-hmm.
And
2 scenes. That's all it is.
2 scenes of Royal Dano. I'm a big fan of Royal Dano.
Love me some Royal.
Love me some Royal Dano. And he's the coroner, and you see, this is when I start to realize that Robert Blake's character, Officer John Winter Green. I'm like, oh, I see what this guy's about now. Because he's all about, like, this is my fucking case, don't tamper with the evidence. Like, and he says, I'm the fucking coroner, fuck you, big. And Royal Dano has no respect for little John Wintergreen.
Yeah.
Because he's just a little bitch-ass cop.
Well, the thing is, the coroner walks in, and he's like, okay, the guy shot himself in the chest with a shotgun. Let's fucking call it. It's a suicide. And Big John, like, sees this as his opportunity. And so the first time you're watching this, I'm like, okay, well, he's just trying to jump on board because he keeps saying he wants to be a detective.
Did he legitimately think it was not a suicide and he was using it? That's the question.
That's the question.
Is like, was he like trying to create something that wasn't what it is for the sake of his own ambitions?
So that he can finally get his shot, right?
Or was it just a suicide?
Was just suicide. But he brings up a good point, and he gets in a fucking whole screaming match with Royal Dano, which is great. And then his boss shows up and throws him out of there. And then the boss Royal Dano proceeds to scream at the boss. It's fucking fantastic.
Harv Poole.
No, before Harv shows up. The
other guy.
Yeah, let me see that later. And so then, like, okay, so here's what's going on. Outside, Big John's talking to Zipper. He's like, he shot himself in the chest with a shotgun. Like, who does that? You're going to shoot yourself in the head if you're killing yourself, right? You're not going to shoot yourself in the chest because you might bleed out. It might not kill you. Like, nobody's going to do that.
But you could say something like, well, if the only gun you have to kill yourself with is a shotgun, maybe you were going for the head and you ended up hitting the chest.
I mean, look what Eddie Vedder did to Kurt Cobain. He went for the head, okay?
Hey, man, nice shot.
So, anywho, Harv shows up, who is the guy in the Stetson hat, in the fucking cigar, in the fucking nice jacket that he wants to be. And he hears Wintergreen yelling. He starts talking to the coroner, and he's like, well, what do you think? And he's like, well, it's open and shut. And he's like, you don't think it's worth doing an investigation? And he's like, no. He's like, you don't think it's odd that somebody would shoot himself in the fucking chest? And the coroner's like, all right, I'll do an autopsy. Like, okay.
So I think about that kind of stuff and apply it to my own like day-to-day job. It's like, do I want one more fucking thing to deal with?
Right, but that's the
sounds
problem.
Open and shut to me. Like, whatever.
And Harv even says it. Like, incompetence is the worst kind of corruption.
Yeah. Well, is it incompetence or just complacency? Maybe he does say that, but like, just like they talk about this a lot. How like this is just a job, man. We're living the life.
Yeah.
We just clock in, we do our thing, we go home, collect a check. We live in a trailer in the desert of Arizona.
Right.
Like, and that's kind of the vibe there.
For Zipper,
right,
sure.
Exactly. But I think Zipper represents your typical guy.
It's not good enough for Big John because he wants to be Harv. Because Harv is the guy that's like, I'm the big swinging dick.
But even Harv doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
No,
he does. He wanted the fucking.
But he was ready to open and shut it too.
No, he wasn't. As soon as he walked up, he was like, "No, let's check this out."
Okay.
And then he goes to the corner, and the corner starts digging around. Like, oh wait, there's a 22 slug in here. Like, he got shot before he fucking shot himself.
Yeah. And
he's like, "Oh, good eye, Harv. You got a nose for it."
Eat some crow, fucking Royal Dano.
We could have buried him, and nobody would ever know. And like he's saying all this shit to Harv, even though it was all Big John.
And Big John's first instinct is goes, those goddamn dirty hippies. Have got to have something to do with this. Those depraved fucking horse shit LSD
You're
induced
getting
hippies.
ahead of yourself again. So Harv approaches Big John and says, "Hey, I need a driver. I need somebody to be my go-to guy." Right. And then we go to a bar, and Harv's giving his big swinging dick speech about how it's crazy out there, and these hippies are doing this and this and this. He's the anti-hippie guy.
We need more of that in life.
Right. And so then they go and they investigate the shack where Frank was killed. And I mean, Harv has a good detective sense because he's looking around in there. There's a statue of Jesus. He breaks it open. It's full of pills, full of red popper pills. He's like, okay.
It'd be so funny if there's like nothing in it.
Yeah, right.
Broke
Like,
this
oops.
All right.
But no, it's full of drugs. He's like, all right, well, we got something here. Let's go check out the hippies.
So John Wintergreen has a very he has the skill of discernment. Like even at the beginning when they pull over the hippies with Zipper, he's like, these guys are fucking, leave them alone. Like it's not like he's just trying to find something that's not there.
Right.
He has the real fucking spidey sense.
He's the real deal. Like he's a decent cop. Like he gets his shot at being a detective because he earned it. Like because he deserved it. Like he had the drive and he's like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to take it. So by this point in the movie, like he's gotten what he's wanted.
Yeah.
And then they go to the hippie commune.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right,
can we tear gas this fucking place right now?
He's
please?
like, all right, Harv, let me go in there and
Put them on a Polish train car, please.
I'll show him what's up, right? So he goes in and the band from Chicago's there and they're all assholes to him. And they're all
the band from Chicago.
The band from the Chicago Transit Authority.
Chicago.
Them too. And so they're all and they really like, and this is what begins Big John's bad day. Okay. He goes to the hippie commune his first day. This is his shot to like show how much of a badass detective he's going to be. And they just walk all over him. Because they're looking for some guy who's...
Because he's short.
Yeah. They're looking for some guy whose fingerprints were there. Bob Zepko's fingerprints were all over the shack. So they're looking for that guy. And they're like, we don't know him. We don't know anything about him, little chief. And they're making fun of him. And he's like, well, sorry, boss. They don't know anything. And so Harv walks up and like starts fucking cold cocking motherfuckers. Like punches a guy in the spine, like pistol whips a dude in the spine. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know who Bob Zepko is.
It is very frustrating. I think about... I mean, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about like... When you think about how many dumb people you're surrounded by on a regular basis.
I feel that in this room right now.
Or lazy or incompetent or like just stupid fucking people. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just us. We're like retarded, right? But like still we're smarter than like 60% of the people on the planet, right?
Right.
At least I'm just, be modest here. Think about people that are like wicked smart.
Yeah.
They're walking around just surrounded by fucking
idiots.
Invalid idiots all day. That's their whole life.
That's why they're on drugs.
They're all on cocaine and
they're all on fucking blow and fucking methadone and shit. Just to
smart people are?
Yeah.
They're taking ketamine in the fucking Silicon Valley.
Dude, Elon's not smart.
He's a face job.
He's just rich.
It's pro wrestling. It's pro wrestling.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
We're not going to get into that, but yes.
No, we agree.
So Harv shows him what's up. And so this is already strike one, right? This is strike one against Big John in his big, beautiful new job.
Beautiful Bill.
It made him look stupid in front of his new boss. So his new boss is like, let's go to the bar because I want to introduce you to a lady who's done so much for me in my life. So they get to the bar.
Now, was she drunk?
Yeah, she was drunk. And the only person there, it's her bar, it's Jolene. The woman that Big John was banging at the beginning of the movie. So they walk in, and now Harv doesn't know Big John and Jolene have been banging. Big John didn't know that Harv and Jolene were a thing.
Jolene's a bit of a floozy.
She's great. She's so hot.
She's so hot.
So they walk in.
She's got like that tapered back into that ass.
Oh, yeah. And that hair and those lips and the tits.
She's like classic white trash 70s hot.
So hot. I would travel back in time just to bang Jolene. Fuck yeah. 3 times in the morning, baby. You got it. Anyways, so they walk in and like Big John's like, oh, I'm not going to say a fucking thing. And I love this scene. It's a whole soliloquy because nobody says a fucking word except for Jolene. And she starts like dropping hints that, oh, my 2 knights in shining armor are here. And Harv just has this look on his face like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
I thought I was introducing my lady to my new employee.
This was the second scene in the movie where I was going like, oh, this is a good performance in a movie. Because I didn't know what I was walking into.
Right.
And the first one was Royal Dano's monologue.
Yeah.
And then the Jolene scene, I'm like, oh, this is a great movie.
It's a great fucking movie. This is great acting roles in this movie. And the scene is it takes like 10, 15 minutes, but it's just like her telling her story and like admitting like, oh, yeah, Harv, like you're the big man, but Big John gives it to me the way I want. And like, he's just standing there like freak the fuck out. So
fucking women.
So Harv gets thrown out Big John goes afterwards. Needless to say,
So he's no longer a detective.
he's no longer a detective after that. Like, Harv just lays into him. Like, he got demasculated, like 100%. She's like, oh, he can do it 3 times in the morning. You can't even do it at all, Harv. It's like, oh, shit.
Well, Harv is a bit of an older gentleman.
But she just had to know she was fucking both these guys over.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
sure.
big
but
time.
They didn't know that they were Eskimo brothers.
They didn't know. They didn't know they were Eskimo brothers at all.
We're not Eskimo brothers, are we?
No, I don't think so.
So a couple of my friends and I are Eskimo brothers.
Not I.
Not I.
I would fucking hope.
Probably for the best.
So, needless to say, Big John is fired from his detective position. So he's back on the horse, back on the Electra Glide in Blue. He's all pissed off at the world, him and Zipper, just like always. And then they see some motorcyclists. And he's like, oh, let's go chase those motorcyclists because they got some women with them.
He's like, no, I'm reading Wonder Woman.
He's like, no, I'm not leaving the shade. And he's like, they got some ladies with them. And Zipper's like, okay, I like ladies. So they go chasing them. And the people in the back, the last guy in the motorcycle turns around. And Big John realizes Bob Zimko. It's the fucking hippie that he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns into a badass motorcycle chase where hippies on motorcycles get set on fire. They get run over by cop cars. They get their fucking engines shot and explode, right? Zimko crashes through a fucking restaurant window.
Yep. Now, is this before or after he orders a grilled cheese sandwich from an ice cream man?
That was way earlier.
Oh, that's a good scene.
That was a good scene. He was hitting on ladies. But he actually like kicks Zipper off of his motorcycle, kicks his partner off of his motorcycle because he's going to shoot him. He's like, you need the guy alive. So they bring in this Zimko guy. Harv's there, and like Harv hates Wintergreen because Wintergreen fucked his woman, you know? And Harv's like screaming like, I'm going to kick your ass to the hippie, and then grabs Wintergreen and is just saying all those things like dead to him in his face. Like he wants to fucking kill Big John for banging his woman better than he can. Oh, it's so good.
It's a lot of, it's very Southwest white trash.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a unique brand of white trash.
Arizona
desert
white trash.
Desert rat.
Right,
trash.
right.
I always romanticize the desert rat life. I think I could deal with that.
I would not want
It's a fun version of white trash.
It's fucking hot and there's nothing anywhere.
I like the desert.
There's nothing for miles, Bobby. I like it too, but I don't want to stay there.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It gets cool at night. Remember Madden, what's his name? Michael Madden in Kill Bill Volume 2?
Mm-hmm.
He lives in just a trailer in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
I'm like,
how many times?
I remember seeing that movie. I'm like, that looks kind of fucking awesome.
I could see that for you. Once your wife leaves you.
Yeah, I'm gonna live in a trailer in
a trailer in the desert. Yeah, single wide in the desert.
Perfectly fine.
Rocking chair, shotgun, bottle of whiskey.
Fuck yeah.
Coors Light.
Hard as a rock.
So Big John goes out. He ends up, like working at a concert or something. And then he figures it all out.
Which isn't Chicago, apparently.
It was some other band. He figures it out. He's like, wait, I know who killed him. Because he's like, it wasn't this kid. He realized it wasn't this kid. There was like $5,000 there that was missing or something because Willie said there was money at the thing.
We find out who took it.
We'll get there. And then he realizes it was Willie. It was Willie that killed Frank because Willie was jealous. Because
the
Frank,
crazy guy.
Willie the crazy guy, was friends with Frank and had been for years. And Frank found new friends and was selling drugs. He wanted to be around young people.
All right, hold on.
He killed him.
We're about to get into serious Spoiler Town, USA.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've not seen
Electra Glide in Blue
and you don't want it to be spoiled, I recommend you turn the episode off. Right?
Yeah. Because the last 20 minutes of it are very heavy.
The last 20 minutes is what takes it from like, this is a really good like movie I've never heard of.
Yeah.
To like, oh, this is a really fucking good movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because he solves the case, right? And he has a conversation with Harv and his boss. And he talks it all out. It's like, hey, it was Willie. It was Willie did it. Like Willie was jealous. He was lonely, and this was his only friend.
Crazy.
He's crazy. His friend wasn't around anymore, so he came back and he killed him. And we pinned it on this other guy. And like, well, what about the drugs? Like, yeah, he was dealing, but that was it. Like, what about this kid's money? Well, he probably saved it up from selling drugs. Well, what about the $5,000? I don't know what happened to it, but he's like, this is what it is. And they were like, oh shit, you're right. So they could have ended the movie there, right? But they don't.
Thank God.
They don't. So next we go, it turns into black and white. There's somebody playing a piano.
Well, it's Zipper playing the piano.
And it slowly turns to sepia. It slowly turns to color. And we're at Zipper's house, which is a nice little trailer he has there.
Yeah, he's got a, like, what do they call it? A pierogi?
Isn't that like a potato bread?
No, the thing I was going, he has a piano outside, but what if it rains? I know it's the desert, but it does rain sometimes. So like I was looking at the shot, I was like, oh, he has one of those like little patio roofs.
Yeah, he's got like a veranda.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. A veranda. I don't think it's called that. Awning, like an awning.
Like an awning, like a gazebo.
It's not important.
No,
so
it preserves his piano.
Sure. So Zipper's fucking shit drunk, right?
You can't fit a piano in a single wide. Or a double wide for that matter.
You can't do it, Bob. You're right. You're absolutely. Maybe in a triple
fucking
wide.
Poor people.
You put in a triple wide. But Zipper shows his new motorcycle, which is a pimpin', jacked up Electra Glide. The color is blue.
It's not his. Now I was going to ask you: is that his new? Does he ride that on the job?
No,
that's just his special toy.
That's just his special toy motorcycle
magazine.
I don't know where that came from because that's what he wanted, right? Like that was his dream motorcycle. And Big John's like, oh shit. You stole that $5,000.
Mm-hmm. It's $5,000 will buy you a bitchin' ass motorcycle
in 1973. Fuck yeah, it would.
It probably would. Pretty decent one now, but still back then that was like a fucking baller motorcycle.
Yeah. And so then we have Zipper's great acting scene where he's just losing it. It's fucking great.
Scene.
It's fucking great, right?
Fucking great scene. And I like to think that if I drunkenly have a fucking mental breakdown and start firing my revolver into various directions.
Because Zipper starts shooting.
Because that's what Zipper does. That you would be so kind as to pull out a fucking year. By the way, these guys back then carried 38s. Wintergreen has a .357 Magnum.
Well, fuck yeah, it's a goddamn 70s
which
cop
fires
movie.
38s, but I'm like, that's a Dirty Harry gun. Like, what is he doing with that thing?
Fucking badass. That's why. He's fucking badass.
Bashing hippie skulls.
He has little man syndrome. So you got to carry the biggest fucking gun.
Yeah,
but Zipper starts firing, like shoots a neighbor, right? And so fucking.
Well, he didn't actually shoot a neighbor.
No, yeah, he shot one of the guys.
Oh, he did.
There's two people.
I remember the two people, but I remember like
one of them got shot.
Oh shit!
He hit the ground. And he's like shooting people, and so Big John pulls out his gun and shoots him. Immediately regrets it. He didn't want to kill his friend.
Right in the chest.
Right in the chest. Fucking dead center.
Because you can't, like, if someone's just going nuts and firing off a gun, you can't just be like, I'm going to hit him in the fucking knee and hope that he doesn't keep doing that.
Maybe aim for the shoulder. I don't know.
I don't know. He was a good shot. It was right in the chest.
Right in the chest.
And he realized what he did immediately.
And he felt bad about it. He didn't want to kill us. That's his only friend. That's his only friend he has in the whole fucking movie is Zipper. Right? And then the girl.
It ain't Harv.
It ain't fucking sure as shit ain't Harv. So if that wasn't shocking enough, we go to the next scene of Big John out there on his route. We see a familiar Volkswagen van driving by with a landscape on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hippies that they pulled over earlier, and there's two of them in there. And one of them's like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get fucking busted." And the guy's like, "Chill out, just sweet talk him." Big John pulls him over. Takes him out. He's like, oh, there's a bumper missing, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, wait, I know you. He's like, I owe you one, don't I? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, get out of here.
So why does he owe him one?
Because fucking Zipper fucked with that guy. That was the guy from earlier. That
I
Zipper
know it was
planted
that same.
drugs
Okay,
on.
that makes sense. Yeah,
so he's like, because he wanted to let him go in the first place because the guy wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So he's like, just get out of here.
Because Zipper fucked with him.
Because Zipper fucked with him. He's like, my bad. That was on me.
Great fucking callback.
Great. And so he realizes that the guy takes off that he had his license. He forgot to give the guy back his license.
It's like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So he starts following him, trying to wave him down so he can give the guy back his license. Well, the Volkswagen van back window opens. Out comes a double-barrel shotgun. Bam! Catches Wintergreen right in the fucking chest.
Long-ass shot of Wintergreen lying dead in the middle of the Arizona freeway.
That's beautiful.
And you're waiting to see if there's any kind of other conclusion to this.
That's it.
You're waiting and waiting and waiting. It's a very famous shot.
It's a very beautiful shot.
And
what's beautiful about it is the way his body rolls, and then he like sits up, right? Like he's sitting upright, and he like looks at himself for a second, and then slumps forward. So he's like sitting boots out, upright. And the camera just slowly...
It's a tragic tale of ambition.
It's fucking beautiful, man.
It's a tragic tale of ambition. And it's just this long, I want to say it zooms out.
Zooms out, music starts playing,
and then eventually you see
goes to
those
black and
fucking
white, the
see those
credits.
beautiful No Country for Old Men credits start rolling.
Yep.
That kind of thing where you're like, where are we going to go from here? I'm like, oh, we don't go anywhere.
We don't go
from
anywhere.
here.
That's it. And the fact that, like, again, he was the character study of Big John is he's a good guy. He's not really a dick. He was trying to do the right thing with these hippies.
No, I agree. He's
and
not.
The fucking hippies shot him.
And the fucking hippies shot him, and he was just he is like, as much as you want to criticize the cops, he is the ideal cop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. He's what we want. We want the boys in blue to be John Wintergreen.
Yeah, we want Big John's out.
We want competence and fairness.
Yep.
And not murdering black people, only murdering hippies.
Hippies are fine
potentially.
To kill. But he didn't even kill any hippies.
No, he didn't even kill any hippies. He cut him some slack, and those fucking dirty ass hippies shot him anyway.
He was mad that Zipper was shooting at hippies. He's like, stop shooting fucking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's like man, that's so good. That's so good. The more we talk about it, I'm like, this is a good fucking movie.
I watched it again. The second watching, I was like, the first time I watched it, I was like, that's a good movie. The second time, I was like, I fucking love this movie.
If you have too high of an IQ, they won't let you be a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, seriously.
Okay.
They're like, oh, you're going to be like too independent thought alert.
Okay, Bobby.
Yeah. They want people that are compliant and dumb.
You're getting off. Let's talk about the movie. Get off your fucking bullshit.
Zipper.
Your bullshit fucking Zipper was dirty.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they want. They want more Zippers, not Robert Blake, John Wintergreens.
But
now that we've talked it out, I'm like, oh man, this movie's even better than
what we thought before.
Now, I'll just say this: if you're looking for just a cut and dry, I wouldn't call it slow burn, but it's definitely a 70s movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the attention span for people of the 1970s, for whatever that's worth to you listeners out there. I love that shit.
Right.
It's something, if it's something you want to pay attention to and really kind of like soak in who the characters are, it's fucking it's an amazing film.
It's Robert Blake was great. I read like Robert Blake was critical of the movie. He like talked shit about it, but it got him Beretta,
Robert Blake's fine. It got him Lost Highway.
Right, it got him Lost Highway. He would never would have happened to Lost Highway.
And it got Zipper the Hitcher.
Yeah.
Apparently.
All around a win. I mean, Jimmy Garrico never made another movie. I guess he went back to producing Chicago albums.
I'd go so far as to say we're starting with the best of Dirty Hippie Summer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know how
it's going to get worse.
I don't know how we're going to top this one. Really, I don't. I would highly recommend. I would give like a 5 out of 5. Like, go watch Electra Glide In Blue. If you want to see a good 70s,
let's do a
grimy.
Let's do a scale from 1 to 10. 5 would be the lowest you go while still recommending it.
5's the lowest I'd go while still. I would get 8.5, 9.
Yeah,
give it a 9.
I give it at least an 8.
I love it. I fucking love it.
I give it an 8. It's real good. I give it a 3.5 stars
out of
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go with that. I give it like a.
But I've been just
AAA
saying,
rating.
If your cup of tea is just kind of gritty, semi-forgotten, semi-obscure 70s shit, that it's like, I want to see what else is out there in this genre, in this time period. Like, this is a fucking good-ass movie.
I didn't know that I needed that itch scratched when I first saw this movie.
Yeah.
And I watched, I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Dare I say it even has like, it's almost like the same tone as like The Last Picture Show, which is very much about Texas in the 60s.
I don't know if I remember that.
Or 50s. I'm just saying it's very good at capturing the people in this very specific time, in this very specific place, in this very specific occupation.
Sure. I mean, I would like to hope that there are more cops out there like Big John Wintergreen. I'd hope they don't all get murdered by dirty hippies. But, if they did,
you need the Big John Wintergreens to balance out and have the fair, competent cops in your precinct.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need the Billy Green Bush, the zippers out there to just like haphazardly murder hippies.
And shoot his neighbors.
Give them shit so they stay out of your fucking community.
And steal fucking money.
It's the duality of life. It's the circle of life. You need both. You need competence and fairness, but you also need the erratic Vietnam veteran cops.
Wow, you're really just laying it all out there on them.
That have no problem.
You hate vets now too?
And would have no problem with, at the very least, giving hippies shit if not opening fire on them.
Sure. Hey, those hippies were running from Zipper. You don't run from Zipper.
No.
You get shot.
You interrupted Zipper's fucking Wonder Woman jerk-off session.
And that was Electra Glide In Blue.
Electra Glide In Blue, I think we both definitely recommend it. It's probably one of the most for everyone movies we've ever watched on Not For Everyone.
If you don't like this movie, fuck you.
Well, there's Adam's review for Electra Glide In Blue from 1973, starring Robert Blake and Billy Green Bush and Mitchell Ryan and Janine Riley and Royal Dano.
I'm gonna listen to Chicago on the way home.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've never liked Chicago. But I'm into challenging my horizons. Maybe I'll throw in some Chicago, see if I can.
You don't have Chicago on vinyl?
I probably do.
You probably fucking do, Bobby.
I probably bought some grab bag box from Half Price Books of vinyls, and there were some 1980s Chicago albums.
As there are in most of those boxes.
That's what those boxes are.
Listen to Not For Everyone podcast. Subscribe to our Patreon. Drink Fox and Sons coffee.
Check out Welcome to Horror. I listen to Welcome to Horror a lot.
Yeah.
And they always plug us at the end of the episode. I'm like, fuck, we need to bring that back. We haven't done
Welcome
that
to Horror. You need to listen to some Welcome to Horror.
Well, let me tell you something about Welcome to Horror. Maybe I mentioned this before.
They're funny fucking dudes.
They're funny and they're very knowledgeable, and it's a great premise for a show. And it makes like fat dirtbag Americans start to kind of like learn about not British horror, but horror that we didn't, a lot of British horror, but like stuff we didn't really like by default grew up in with American culture.
Sure.
I guess what I'm trying to say is they're like, if you want to learn about some great Hammer films you've never heard of,
they know them all.
Check out Welcome to Horror.
They know them like I know Godzilla.
Yeah. Fox and Sons coffee.
Listen to that too with your mouth. Listen to Fox and Sons with your mouth.
Listen with your mouth. Promo code NFE. If you want to possibly join the Not For Everyone book club, go over to patreon.com/not-for-everyone.
Send us a book. We'll read it.
And
I don't know how this works.
Cameron's down.
Is that how book club works?
Vanessa's down. I don't know if anyone else is down, but that's at least 3 of us right there.
I might be down. We'll see.
No, we don't need you there. You're to be like, we need you to be the tit counter.
I can count tits and books.
You're going to count tits and books. So the Not For Everyone.
I'm leaving.